Hello, my fellow way showers. I know that most of us don't quite know what that means yet, probably maybe all of us. But I think the bottom line is that we are the way showers and we need to find that way inside of us first, of course. And this relates to what I have been talking about a lot lately for a while that basically, well, I did a YouTube a while ago called Rest in Peace Matrix. It's over or something like that. And that was a very popular one compared to what I normally do. So I know there is that people are wanting that to happen, but we don't know what it means and we don't know what to do. But if we agree to the fact that the matrix is basically over. That energy, that dualistic energy, that basically nightmare, you can say in one way, the suffering and the struggling and the separation and the wars and the greed, that's all part of the matrix, the old matrix or the false matrix. And that is literally as an energy that is collapsing, even if we don't know that yet at this visible level. But with the matrix, of course, everything that we have learned how to function in the matrix is going down with it. That means that in one way, we can also say that the life that we knew and how we identified with living it, it's disappearing. And that's very hard to understand if you are completely identified with it on that level. When you start disidentifying with it, and I have talked a lot about that, a lot of it is our emotional attachments that are feeding the matrix, and it's like a symbiotic structure. So we need to pull out of it. And the more we do, the more the matrix will just keep deflating and collapsing. And that is what we're seeing mostly on the outer, maybe because there's so much weird stuff going on. But so many of us are also feeling it on the inside, and we don't quite know what it means. We don't know what to do with it. For many, many people, it feels like life has no meaning anymore. And that is a big one because then you just want to give up. You don't care anymore. You don't care what happens. You have no motivation. So it's kind of at a level of depression, right? Because what motivates us, what has motivated us, have been things in the matrix. And because we're beginning to see through so much of the deception and the fakeness and all the things that we're beginning to realize, more and more people, then that motivation to engage in it is going to go away also. That's not easy. You know, if your whole life depends on the matrix, and it does for most people, right? Financially, medically, all the physical things that we have just taken for granted, also just going to the shop and buy whatever food has been available and beginning to realize that most of the food is not good for us, and that creates the next level like of disease, and then you get the whole medical involved. So it's almost like this matrix structure has been feeding on itself on all in all these departments, and now it is slowly, maybe even not so slowly, collapsing. And here we are, you know, suddenly you're realizing you're not going to make it to the top in your company, or things happen in the family. You might have been part of the fires or the floods, and suddenly all that stuff has no meaning anymore. And that is not easy, right? This is a very, very rough time for most people to go through. And it's not just the outer. it's very much the inner also. So whoever we have been identifying with to be and how we function in the world, it's going. And many of you may already feel that. Maybe you have felt it for a long time. So what do we do then, right? The old identity is disappearing. The old false patriarchy, or the old false matrix is dissolving and disappearing. So everything that we were identified with and attached to is simply not there anymore. There might be a scramble like, oh, it fell apart here. Well, let me try and recreate it over here, or let me try and start something new, but that's may still be based on the values and the mechanics of the old matrix. And so there will be scrambling for many people for a while. Like, oh, I want to hold on to something and I need to survive. So a lot going on. And letting go is not easy when you don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's an important piece, that when we look at the false matrix, that we cannot rebuild ourselves or rebuild the world based on the old values and mechanics, the old ways. So we are basically left like hands up, like, well, what do I do now? There's nothing to hold on to. You may not even enjoy where you live anymore because certain things have changed. You may a lot of people have lost a lot of their friends that were part of their community. Either they have passed on or they have moved away. There's so much going on. So we are very much left in a way on our own, it might feel like. So what do we do then, right? That's that question. Well, what do I do now? What am I supposed to do? What am I here for? And I can share you in my own experience, before I really got my YouTube going again, a little over a year ago. I went through a number of years where I was just like, there was nothing moving me anymore in the way I had been doing it. And I had tried the old marketing ways, you do it this way, you do it this way. And I cannot even tell you how many way showers or light workers I know who just like, but it's not working. It's just not working. I think even those who were at the top, it's not working anymore. So let's not despair. Let's notice it and let's feel the impact that it has, because it does. And then I guess, we just need to make it by the best way we can. And it's going to be a very individual thing for each one of us. I can't tell you what to do. It's kind of finding out, how can I survive? How can I still pay the bills and still pull out some of my energy of the matrix? And maybe you lost your job, so you don't even have a choice. You're like, now you're down at bare bottom. What do I do now? So don't think that something is wrong, although it feels wrong, right? It feels very, very challenging. But this is the place where the space is here, and there's really nothing in it, the way we have known it, right? It's like the world, the way we knew the world is disappearing. The way we knew ourselves is disappearing. The way we have identified with a role or a job, anything, it's really not here anymore for most of us. There's still many where it still works. They're still really involved and identified in the matrix. But for many of us, way showers and maybe becoming way showers, this is the time where we have to just stop, pause, take a breath, and kind of regroup, not from our old identity. Please, let's not do that, because that's just going to keep going down the drain. But there is a space that's open for us now that that used to be filled with all the false matrix stuff, the old patriarchy, right? It was filled with that, both outside and in the mind. So now that is being emptied out, we might say, you are left with an open space that you don't really know what to do with. So you don't have to do anything with it at this point. That's the old matrix way. I have to do something. I have to do something. And that's all we know. I've been identified with that my whole life. So I know it's not an easy place. But I took the time to just let it dissolve in me. And I found ways, to keep living my life the way I wanted it or could. And so we are, and then suddenly, as I've shared with you before, there was this starting to come out, like this energy, this insight, this so much to share. And that's when I started my YouTube channel. That's how it went for me. And it can change tomorrow, can change in a heartbeat. Maybe there won't be YouTube tomorrow. It's like, oh my God. Right. So it's just learning to stay in that open space where there is nothing. It's the unknown, and most people are very afraid of it and try to fill it up, usually with old matrix things, or filling it up with despair. I don't know what to do yet or now. So this is a place for all of us to open up to the space that wasn't here before in this way it is now. Of course, it was always here, but we weren't able to focus on it because we filled it with stuff, with thoughts and all these things. But now that this is here, I want to invite you to take it as a real thing. It may seem like there's nothing here, but like there is something here, because this nothingness is kind of pregnant with new possibilities, with the new paradigm. And we need to go into that space and make ourselves available for it so we can start feeling like, what is here? What is this nothing? Why am I afraid of this nothing? Or why does it seem like it's a bad thing? Because it's not. It's just opening up to a whole new dimension that we have not lived in yet, a whole new paradigm. And it is up to us, each one of us, to open up to that and make ourselves available for that. And it is very different than what we're used to. And I'm speaking a little bit from experience because I have been practicing this for a long time. And it's been very hard for me. One of the hardest things for me was to, I want to do something. There was this, my whole energy, my whole nervous system was so geared towards having to do something. So it's taken me a while. And honestly, I can still feel that drive in my nervous system, but it is not running my life. So for me, it's just an ongoing letting it just dissolve, be present with it, not engaging with it, not trying to change it, just being with it. And in that being, staying open to what is coming in. Of course, if you are all alone in this, that makes it harder. So I would invite you to get together with other people who are in that same experience as you. If you know anybody, you're always welcome to join me on my online gathering, which is the first Tuesday of every month. It's coming up on April 1st. And just join. It's by donation. And just to start, connecting with others if you've been missing that. And so to realize that you are not alone, and to kind of, it's like a think tank, but we can call it a heart tank, where we start like tuning in and feel like, what is available? What is it that we really want? And of course, for me, it comes very much to the longing in our heart, because that is where I feel that the new paradigm keeps announcing itself and say, I'm here. This is it. Follow that. So if this resonates with you, if you feel you want some connection, please just join me. The link is in the description below. And if you need more help, you can always sign up for a self-discovery session with me, and then we can find out what you might need, and on your journey going forward. But do your best to not try and rebuild the old paradigm. Learn just realizing that it actually is all dissolving, and see if you can take some nice deep breaths down in. Maybe there's anxiety around it. Of course there is. So learning to just breathe into that, be with the experience. And then, when you have a little more space in you, you can start opening up to the new. But we do need to empty out that space first. Otherwise, it's very hard for the new to come in. So, my friends, please reach out if this is challenging for you, if you feel you need support. Whatever you need, I don't know, we can find out by, in one of my self-discovery sessions. And if you already have a group or a tribe around you, if you're already part of other, groups like this, please connect with them, stay connected, and support each other, because the new space is not based on I have to do it myself and the distance and the duality. This is a place where we are coming together and figuring out how this new paradigm is coming in and how we can collectively make ourselves available for it. So I hope that helps, and please comment, like, share, subscribe, stay connected with this channel, and share yourself. What is all this for you? How are you handling all of this? Okay, I'll talk to you soon again. Thank you.